Our next guest is one of my favorite comedians. It's an honor to have him perform on our 100th show. Please welcome Louis C.K.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is exciting. My nipples are hard right now. They are. I just noticed it. Ooh, that kind of hurts. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. My name is Louis. I'm a 42-year-old divorced father. I got 2 kids, 2 girls, and it's the hardest part of being a parent really is just the days that you spend with your kids. That's really, ask any parent. You ask parents, like, is it the worrying? Is it saving? But no, it's just the days. It's just every day. My kids wake me up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I don't get up at 6. Before I had kids, I blew off whole careers because I didn't want to get up. Like, I just won't be that then. And then you take them to school, and then you pick them up, take them home, then it's like, how early can I put them to bed that isn't child abuse? Like 4 p.m.? Putting your kids to bed is murder, because they don't want to do it. They're just laying awake, just like Clockwork Orange, just so excited. And I just want them to stop. I want to stop their ceaseless joy for life. So I can go watch Cash Cab and jack off and pass out. That's all I want. I love my kids, but I want them to stop at bedtime. So I just want them to go to sleep so I can eat all the ice cream in the house that would break their hearts if they knew how much ice cream. There's so much ice cream in the house, and I never give it to them. It's mine. I wait till they're sleeping, and I eat it in their room in the dark over their beds. And also, I'm a divorced dad, so when I'm with my kids, it's just me and 2 little girls. And that's a challenge. There's certain things like we're in the airport the other day. I was taking my kids somewhere in New York, and they had to go to the bathroom. Now, when kids have to go to the bathroom, you don't get much warning. They don't go, hey, Dad, I kind of have to go. Should we start looking for a place? They just go, I'm going to poop in my pants in T-minus 5, 4, 3, and it's over. So you got to find a place. Now, take yourself through that logically. I'm a man. I've got 2 little girls. I'm not allowed in the ladies' room. I mean, not me personally. I didn't get banned. I can't go in a ladies' room because I got a big old penis. So I just can't go in. I'm not bragging that it's not big like porny, thrusty penis. It's just big like an old man's nose. Just kind of like, just kind of droop, like a lava lamp, just bloop. It's big in an upsetting way. Don't ever look at my penis. It's awful. Also, I'm not allowed in a ladies' room because I love looking at people's vaginas anytime that I have that opportunity. It's amazing that we still need separate rooms to pee in. As human beings, men are so disgusting that we can't be trusted to pee in the same room. So I have to take my girls to the men's room, which is awesome. Look, girls, 9 penises. 9 farting men shaking the pee off their big old penises. So I got to push them past that, and then we go in the stall. So I'm in a bathroom, airport stall with 2 little girls, all our luggage. There's a guy right here. Right here. There's a guy here. This dude, I can see his foot. He's trying to get leverage to harder. Like he's struggling. And we can hear him. We're sharing this moment with him. He's like, oh, he's struggling. Like he's giving birth in the 1800s with no midwife, just in a barn. Just an old country whore dropping another baby in the hay. This is what this sounded like. And when he broke loose, it sounded like soup cans and pennies being shook out of an old duffel bag. And he's this close to my beautiful daughter's little tiny face, who, by the way, is shitting her brains out. This kid is no princess. She is cracking pipes. So she goes, then the other one, then it's my turn. I'm peeing. I'm trying not to fart in her faces. It's a challenge. That's what I'm trying to say. It ain't easy. But I love my girls. I'm trying to stay in shape. No, I'm not. I have a dog. I have a doctor who told me that I eat too fast. He said you should eat slowly. Because what happens is when you eat, there's a signal that goes from your stomach to your brain that says you're full. But it takes that signal 20 minutes to travel from your stomach. First of all, what a douchebag my body is. That it takes 20... What's taking 20 minutes? If I stub my toe, I know it instantly, and that's twice the distance. What's taking this signal 20 minutes? It's like, hey, Tit, what's up? What are you doing over here? My Tit's like, dude, get up there. We're getting fat. Hurry up. Ooh, excuse me. You know, hey, asshole, what are you doing? All right, I've disgusted you enough. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Louis C.K. Don't go nowhere. We're back with one of my favorite comedians who just had the best set that any comedian has done on Lopez tonight, Louis C.K. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here on the 100th show.
You're one of my favorites, too. I mean, of all time. I think you're one of the greats of all time. I'm serious, man.
And we've been friends a long time, but we've never formally hung out.
No. Yeah.
Because you live in New York.
That's right.
And I live here.
That's
so
right.
I'm going to New York this weekend.
Oh, good.
But when you're out here, do you like being out here?
No, I hate it. I hate it. It's just a different... I think the thing about New York, people think that people are rude there. You know, and they're friendly in a different way. Like, a New Yorker will hold the door for you, but you got to get through the door. Like, you have like 2 seconds before the nice gesture becomes hatred, like seething hatred. You're like, go ahead. Go! All right, jeez. I'm in a hurry. I wasn't before. I wasn't even going in that building, but I guess I have to. Because you're making me. But people are used to being with each other. The thing about LA is that people are all in their cars, and they don't think about the people in the other cars as human beings sometimes. And things get kind of... People honk all the time here. And I really believe this, George, that if you own a car and you ever honked your horn once, you're a piece of shit. I really believe that. There's no legitimate reason to honk a horn. It's only selfish. It's supposed to be for safety, but what's that story that ends with, and then he honked his horn and everyone was saved? Like, what is that story? I think the idea in our heads is you'll be driving and a kid will run out in front of you, so you'll honk and then kill him. That's what would happen if you chose to spend your time beep. Well, he's dead now. At least he died in fear instead of joyful play. I got to announce his death with a horn. But no, the reason people honk is to critique that has already happened.
What do you mean? Like what? Like what?
Well, it's not to avert, it's just to go beep, hey. Like, why do you get to sound a trumpet because you're unhappy? Why does everybody beep? You shouldn't. It's no different than being in a store and someone gets in front of you and you just go, ugh, ugh. It's stupid. The other reason people honk is because they just don't want to wait. You're sitting in your car, you're sitting behind another car, the light turns green, and because he doesn't have your central nervous system. You go, bah! And I don't mean to accuse because I honk at everybody.
And there's no...
I do. I honk at people on the sidewalk for being ugly. I'm the worst. Beep, stay home, it's gross. So I'm worse than anybody else.
But tell everybody the story about how you almost got killed driving, but not in an accident. Just tell.
No, I almost got murdered by a young fellow. I was driving. I was living here at the time, and I was driving really fast. I was speeding because I was in a hurry. So I was making other people almost die because my bad judgment. So I'm driving, and then I realize there's a car next to me who's driving fast. It's a kid, like 19 years old, in a green Honda that he made at his house. You know those cars?
I do.
He's got spiky hair. And he keeps... So I'm like, good, I don't care. You know, let's both get to my show on time. I'm fine. He thinks we're racing. I'm not racing. But so we get to the next red light, and he's looking at me, and he's going, woo, like this. And I go, what happened to your hand? Like, I don't understand what this... I don't know what that means. If other people don't know the thing, it doesn't scare them. He's like, yeah, whoa! And I'm like, I don't know it.
So I said to him, listen, I'm not trying to go fast relative to you. I just have my own independent reason for my speed. And he got angry at all the words and everything. And he pulled out a gun and he pointed it at me. So I go through the red light. And he does too. And I was like, oh, I'm thinking, oh, he's trying to kill me, but he's not going to go through a red light, you know? I'm sure he's thinking ahead to how that's going to hurt his insurance premiums in the long run. So now I'm in a car chase in L.A. I'm being chased, and it doesn't feel like a car chase. It's a beautiful day. I'm listening to Simon and Garfunkel on my radio. Being chased through, I am just a poor boy, though my story's seldom told. I've squandered. So I call 911 on my cell phone, and I go, there's a guy chasing me with a gun, and he's trying to kill me. That's what I said. And the lady goes, why is he doing that? I swear to God, why is he doing that? I'm like, is there a reason he could have that you would not send anyone to help me? Like, if I tell her the story... Like, I'm going to tell her the story, and she's going to go, it sounds like you made a mess for yourself. We're not going to get involved. So I did the same thing anytime I call a company, and I don't like what. You hang up, you call again.
Right. Get another person.
Get another person. So I get another guy. He goes, 911, what's your emergency? And I tell him, and helicopters show up right away. I guess I just sound white enough to call in an airstrike. I'm nervous.
You are fantastic. Hey, if you ever seen Louis C.K. live, you have to see him live. Until then, watch Louis C.K.'s sitcom Louis, premiering June 29th at 11 o'clock on FX. My favorite comedian, Louis C.K. We'll be right back.
It was amazing.
And Chappelle's shows, did you do any of his shows?
I did all of them in Austin. We did them all together at Stubbs Amphitheater.
That's right. Well, he invited me out to...
Yellow Springs.
Yellow Springs. And besides being in his world, which is wild, you know, Chappelle land, being able to do shows there in this cornfield, you know, and other comedians are just, last time I saw Bob Saget, I got to see him one more time. And we were all together again, and, you know, it was really something. It was great.
Yeah, there was something special. The shows that we did in Stubbs, like Dave called me up and he said, hey, let's do comedy. You know, and it's like, let's just test everybody. It'll cost a lot of money and take a lot of time, but it'll be a lot of fun. And we did it, and they were some of the most magical moments ever, because while we were there, we're like, oh, I can't believe we're doing this. This is really happening.
Yes. I really didn't think it would happen, at least for a very long time. And there I am with Dave and Michelle Wolf, and we're talking jokes.
Yeah.
And Dave would just host the shows and just be really like a comedy club host, like talking to the crowd and just doing silly bits. I loved watching him. And then we'd all go to his crazy barn, and just everybody would dance, and it was nuts. It was crazy.
Nah, he's doing it right. Yeah. He's an unusual person in the greatest sense ever.
There's one moment of Chappelle that tells me like who he is deep inside. You know, he's a public guy, and he's had a varied and complex life, but this is who he is to me. I was... After one of the shows in Yellow Spring, he has like this, you know, a big, like his own little nightclub with a DJ station and a bar, and everybody went there afterwards. And they're playing really loud music. It's mostly black people. And me and Noam, who owns the Comedy Cellar, were sort of standing. We were the two wallflowers, kind of just. They're playing really loud music. It's mostly black people. And me and Noam, who owns the Comedy Cellar, we're sort of standing. We're the two wallflowers, kind of just watching, you know. And these guys, they're in a mob, just dancing to all kinds of music. Nirvana at one point, old hip hop, new, you know, weird Alanis Morissette, just anything.
Yeah.
And they're dancing, and I look at Chappelle, and he's got his kind of half-lidded, he's smoking and red eyes, and he's watching. And at one point, he just went into the middle of the crowd of people, and he just started pushing them like this. And he made a circle. He just gently shoved people, and he made them clear a circle. And then there's a lot of kids around, and there was this little black girl with this little skinny girl, and he just took her by the hand and put her in the middle of the circle, and then he backed off, and then she started dancing and everyone went wild and just watched her do this. He saw this. I watched him decide this.
I'm going to make this space. I'm going to put this little black girl in it. And then he just backed off and he just sort of was pleased at what he created. It was an unbelievable moment.
He's the guy who taught me to listen to music before you go on stage. He has a playlist that he plays, and he would always bring these big JBL boom boxes with him everywhere. And I started bringing one on the road with me, too, because it sets a tone for, like, the green room. But when we were doing these shows at Stubbs, he was listening to this one Nina Simone track, and he would listen to it over and over.
What was it? Do you know what the song was?
I wish I could remember, but we were blasted. Yeah. We were out of our minds. We were so stoned and so drunk. But it was just to see him take in this art, to see him take in this Nina Simone song. He had like his eyes closed and he was like smoking a cigarette, and and he would go, hold on, just listen to this one part right here. Listen to this one part, and he'd like play it again, like, oh man.
Yeah, he's a great appreciator of life.
Now he loves art too. He's he has a deep respect for people's creations. Like to the bone. Like he really loves it. Really loves doing it. He really loves creating it, really loves listening to it. It's like he's doing it right. He's doing it right. And he's doing it in his own vibe. He's got his own sort of space that he's created, his own vibration.
That's a hard thing to have right now. So
yeah. Well, he's another one. He doesn't listen to shit. He's not reading social media. He doesn't have anything on his phone. He doesn't nothing.
Louis C.K. and Doug Stanhope in an episode of Louis C.K.'s FX series, Louis. Have you been in that position where somebody's told you that they want to kill themselves? You have to decide, what are you supposed to do with that?
Well, it's a scary thing to ponder, But it's emotional to hear that clip now because, I wrote that about a lot of comedians I knew coming up. And comedy and show business are very cruel, and they don't have a nice way of saying no or goodbye, And a lot of guys live really tough lives in this racket. And I've known a lot of them and come up with some of them, and some have made it, some haven't. And, the idea of somebody saying to you, look me in the eye and tell me I have a reason to live, it's terrifying to think, what if I fail them in that moment? And Doug Stanhope is somebody I've known for a lot of years, not well, but I've always known him. We've traveled the same paths, and I love Doug. I have real affection for him. And, he doesn't take very good care of himself, and he, medicates himself in many different ways. And I've always been scared for him. I've always been afraid that he's going to let himself go and die. And
So you sent him the script in which he wants to kill himself. How did he react to that?
Well, when I've felt that fear about Doug for a lot of years, and then I look at what he writes on his website, and I've listened to him, and I realize that there's something narcissistic in my fear. You know what I mean? Like, he's taking care of himself, and he's making his choices as a grown-up. And so that was sort of an evolution of thinking for me. But then the reason I guess it's emotional now is because I lost my friend Patrice. Sorry.
No, that's okay. This is the comic who... You want to take a break for a second?
No, it's okay.
Okay. This is the comic
Patrice...
You dedicated your special to him. And
Patrice died of, in a diabetic coma. And he didn't take good care of himself. And there's part of me that is, upset with him for not taking care of himself, because he took himself away from us. So I guess to me, it's like, it's funny to hear that now and...
Yeah, well, you wrote that before this happened, so...
Yeah.
You certainly weren't thinking about his death.
No, not at all. And, it's just funny because I had such a different perspective on that issue of, like, someone's not taking care of themselves. Someone's not keeping themselves safe. And what is your role in that? And the anger I feel towards Doug in that scene is the kind of anger I feel about Patrice now that he's gone. So it's interesting to look back on it because the place I took myself in that scene, as I was writing it, I didn't know where it was going. I knew I wanted to stand on that street and have him give me that news. And I didn't know where I wanted it to go. So I started writing to him my argument, why not to kill yourself? And as I was writing it, I realized for this argument to succeed would be really gross. For me to, like, be the guy who gives him the reason to live, is so self-serving. And that the fact that I was even attempting it on paper, I was embarrassed alone in a room. And so the way that the path I found to the truth of the scene for me was having Doug be the one to tell me how full of crap I was for trying it. So in other words, as I was sitting there typing, here's why you shouldn't kill yourself, I stopped and said to myself, oh my God, congratulations, you pig. You know, who do you think you are? And so then I had Doug basically say that. And, you know, Doug is a lot more together than any of the people that I'm asking him to play there. Doug has a real career, and he's a great comedian. He's one of the best. And I didn't know he could act. He's never acted in his life. That's the first thing he ever acted in, really. And I called him and I said, I wrote this thing. It's kind of an amalgam of a lot of guys, and your voice would sound great doing it. Do you want to do it? And he said, I can't act. He told me right away, I can't do it. And I said, I didn't ask you if you can. What I'm asking is, do you want to? And he said, well, yes, I do want to. And I thought, well, that desire will make it work, you know. The crazy thing is that I was so exhausted when we shot that episode. It was one of the last things we shot. I was so strung out. I didn't know any of my lines. I was depressed. I was just really not in good shape. And Doug came so prepared, and he was the best. I'm going to say he's the best actor I had on the season.
You're so popular, you must have so many fans. Do they ask you for strange things?
I don't know. I don't talk to them much. I just I stay home, and I try to hide a lot. I'm not great at being a person who has fans. It's a weird thing. When you meet somebody who's a big fan, it's a weird moment. It's just awkward and strange. Yes, sir.
Last question.
Are you going to have Ron Lynch on the show?
You know, I really should, right? You know who he is? Ron Lynch is a comedian who, when I was starting in Boston, he ran a really weird show called The Comedy Clubhouse, and he was just a very inventive and wonderful act. He's still around today. He has a show every Saturday, I think, at the Steve Allen Theater, and he just does the strangest, most interesting, and there's nobody like him. Anyway, he took a shot on me. I had never even been on stage. And I just begged him to put me on stage, and he started letting me be on stage and gave me the opportunity and the confidence to become a stand-up comedian. So I owe my career to that dude. Thanks for asking.
Who was your contemporaries who you started with in Boston?
I don't know if there's guys that anyone knows, really.
Yeah.
Tom Dustin, Alvin David, Mike Whitman, they're kind of still there.
Was Patrice still in Boston?
Patrice was gone, Bobby was gone, Dane was gone. I started in 2000, but all those guys were there. It's still all the same. Like, we all have the exact same starting out stories, but I started 15 years after you guys. It's so funny. It's like a lot of the same rooms, the same guys, Donovan, Tony V. And then I met Nick in Boston, but opening for him at the Comedy Connection. I went on the road with him for years. And it was the same thing. We had all the same stories. It's really fascinating.
How that place stayed the same long enough to foster. I mean, those guys sort of created all the comics that came from there.
Sure, Burr,
yes, Patrice,
everyone.
who to me is one of the greatest of all time.
Sure,
for sure.
Patrice is by far, he owns a part of comedy that nobody else can touch.
Yes.
There's other people that have like categories where they're number one or two in the bench, but he's the only fucking guy who ever did that. And he was just about to get even better, and he was already just, he would now be just everything.
Oh my God, he would
everything.
be, if Patrice had a podcast, it'd be the greatest podcast ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
He would have been the king.
He's missed.
But those guys, Lenny, Gavin, you know, even crazy guys like Teddy Bergeron, all these guys were just so good, and they had this Godfather. They're like a big giant multi-headed Godfather.
Yeah.
And you know, Dane and Robert came up after we did, and Joe, and Nick came up under those guys, learned from those guys, looked up to Lenny Clark was his idol. You know, there's nobody more important in the world to Nick than Lenny Clark, and Lenny's still there. And not everybody's meant to be a TV star in this thing, but the way they've looked after that local scene, like a folk scene, it's like if Dylan and Joni Mitchell and all those people stayed in the clubs in the Village and just kept being an example. They're like teachers.
Yeah.
That's really rare. It's a rare thing. We're really lucky to have that.
Well, it's a rare thing, and that place celebrates comedy. Like, Boston comedy is like, it's very important to people that live in Boston.
You are a comedic powerhouse. What do you think
that Robin Williams gave to your career?
Well, he was my friend. I loved Robin very much, and I grew up watching him, and he was somebody who worked so hard at it and was just explosive with energy, and so he was a beacon when I was a kid, And then he reached out to me a few years ago because he loved my show, and he just wrote me an email. I didn't know him before, and said that he really loved it. And then we met in San Francisco, and I went to his house and hung out with him, and then we became close. He was on my show, and he was a big influence on me as a person and comedically. Yep.
You're so popular, you must have so many fans. Do they ask you for strange things?
I don't know. I don't talk to them much. I just I stay home, and I try to hide a lot. I'm not great at being a person who has fans. That's a weird thing.
How big of an influence is Woody?
He really made me want to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
More than anybody. I thought and his movies were so approachable. The comedies I grew up with, like Take the Money and Run and Bananas. There's a scene in Bananas where he becomes a dictator of another country. It's a crazy plot for anybody that doesn't know it. But he comes back to America, and he's going to court for a crime, and he's covering his face, and then the whole press is walking, and then he walks by this really ugly woman who's just standing there, and he takes the hat and he just puts it over her face. I remember that was the moment where I was like, if I think like this guy and he got to be doing this, I could do that someday.
You're like, oh, I love it like this guy. I want to do what he does.
And then watching him develop to Hannah and her sisters and to husbands and wives, crimes and misdemeanors.
Yeah.
I mean, Annie Hall, Manhattan.
Yeah.
These are all masterpieces, and it's crazy that they belong to one person. That's absolutely nuts.
It's nuts, actually.
Yep.
I think your boots are really sexy.
What?
Your boots are really sexy.
Thank you. Maybe tell me that later instead of during a performance. You're not welcome to speak. I'm trying to make that really clear to everybody at the same time. It is not appropriate to yell at me right now. It is less appropriate to yell at me than almost anybody within several square miles. If you yell at a guy on the street, you're not ruining a show for 2,500 people. So it's literally one of the few people, me and a pilot, you shouldn't talk to. Those are the only people. A pilot flying a plane at that moment, and me doing this. And a ballerina. The three of us, leave us alone so that we can give you what you paid for. For you, not for me. I don't care. I can't be hurt. I can't be. I'm 45 years old. I have used up every kind of crime, and I've used them all. Blank piece of paper. That's how all my feelings are now. That's how all of my emotions and impulses are. Yeah, I know about that. That's fine. I've done that. No reaction.
When I took my dog to the vet the first time, she was, a year old when I adopted her. And the vet told me, don't let your dog eat dark chocolate. I don't know if you know this, but
I've heard this, that
yeah.
Dark chocolate is supposed to be poison to dogs.
It kills them. And vets won't explain it further either. It's like, why does it kill them? Oh, they die. Like, they won't tell you why. Like, what do I do if my dog eats dark chocolate? Watch her die or leave the room. But the vet did tell me there's one thing you can do, which is give your dog hydrogen peroxide. And that foams up in the dog's belly, and then they throw it up with the chocolate. That's what you should know to do that. But you got to do it quickly before they ingest the chocolate. All right, so I come home 6 months later. Sure enough, my dog ate dark chocolate. I had friends who had stayed over, and they didn't know. They left dark chocolate in low places.
Right.
Which is very popular.
Here's a good place for this.
Yes.
I could put it on this high shelf, but I think not.
They put it way down.
I may be crawling on the floor later.
That's right. And might not need a snack.
So what? So you come home and had your dog eaten it?
Eating a whole big bar of
Oh, my
dark
God.
Polish chocolate. The Polish part doesn't matter, but I like saying Polish chocolate. And my dog had chocolate on her face, and I went, oh my God! And she looked at me like, I was home for an hour alone. What are you gonna, come on. And I was like, you're gonna die! And she's looking at me like, I don't understand English, but I get that you're upset. And so I'm thinking, I gotta get hydrogen peroxide into this dog, but I don't have any. So I've got to go to the pharmacy, and she needs to come with me because there's no time.
Right.
I'm in New York City, and I put the leash on her. She's like excited. We're going for a walk. And I'm running, and she's like, this is great for you. You never exercise. And she's just enjoying it. And then we get to the pharmacy, and she's waiting for me when I come out, and I've got a bottle of hydrogen peroxide that I have to make her drink.
Yeah.
Like, take yourself through that. How do you make a dog like you just, here, drink this? You know? So I kind of pour a little in her snout, and she goes, like that. And so I kind of grab her, and I pour a little more. She goes, I think I was pretty clear that I didn't like that. Like, she looks at me like, she's trying to figure out what's going on here. And so I get my whole body around her. This dog was 70 pounds. She was like an alligator.
Yeah,
and if she didn't want to drink something, she was just thrashing. I'm like, drink it! And at one point, I have her on the end of the leash, and she's looking at me all wet on the face. And she gives me this look like, I don't know what happened to you, but our thing is over. I'm not into you anymore. I'm a dog. And she starts going, she became completely vicious. She's trying to bite me, and I'm trying to save her life.
Yeah.
So I'm punching her in the face and splashing this stuff. I'm holding her lip open. I'm going, kicking her in the stomach. And people, I look, and there's hundreds of people on the sidewalk just horrified.
Yeah.
There's cars stop, and they're honking at me. Leave her alone! She's gonna die! It was a nightmare. And finally, I got enough up her nose and whatever.
Right.
And she was like, dude, just, huh? And then she, just like a pump, just, and just brown foam.
Yeah.
Brown, like she's, like another dog is coming out of her. And she made it, but she never liked me. In my car one time, and a Bruce Springsteen song comes on. And it made me really sad. It's like Jungle. What's the Jungle song?
Jungleland.
It's one where he goes, "Hurry!" and he sounds far away. You know, it's like
that's half. Wait, that's half of them.
Yeah, that's a lot of them.
No, he goes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really far away sounding.
Yeah.
Can you do it with the reverb? Can you do? No, they're not doing it.
They're not. Right.
So.
Like that?
Yeah. Except for it was Springsteen. If it was you doing that, I would have been like, what the hell is that in my radio? But it was Springsteen.
I did it just the same as Bruce.
And I heard it, and it gave me kind of like a fall back to school depression feeling. It made me really sad.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, I'm getting sad. I got to get the phone and write hi to like 50 people. And then, somebody cool writes back, and then somebody not as cool writes after, and I'm like, oh, you, I'm not going to... I got somebody better. But,
Hey, how come you didn't answer my text?
Speaking of which.
Because he wrote first. That's fine. So, anyway, I started to get that sad feeling, and I was reaching for the phone, and I said, you know what, don't. Just be sad. Just let the sadness, just stand in the way of it and let it hit you like a truck. And I let it come, and Bruce, and I just started to feel, oh my God. And I pulled over and I just cried like a bitch. I cried so much. And it was beautiful. It was like this beautiful, it's just this, sadness is poetic. You're lucky to live sad moments. And then I had happy feelings because when you let yourself feel sad, your body has like antibodies. It has happiness that comes
rushing in
to meet the sadness. So I was grateful to feel sad, and then I met it with true, profound happiness. It was such a trip, And the thing is, because we don't want that first bit of sad, we push it away with like a little phone for the food, and you get a little kind of